This is your host, Danny, and this is RPG Storyteller from English Plus Podcast. Welcome to the last episode of our Fallout 4 series, War Never Changes. In this episode, everything will come to an end. Or is it? Because war never changes. But I'm not going to spoil any details for you. And now that I am a director of the Institute, or at least I'm named director of the Institute, and I'm at the same time a general of the Minutemen, but I'm definitely enemies with the Railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel. What's going to happen? How is this story going to end? Let's find out together. But before we go there, let me remind you that there are 2 links in the description of the episode. The first one is going to take you to my website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com. There you can watch the episode as well, and you can check your comprehension of what happened in this episode. And the second link will take you to my Patreon page, where you can support me, support the learning community, and help us continue this journey together, the journey of our learning community together. With that being said, let's not waste any more time and let's go straight to the last episode of Fallout 4, War Never Changes. So I am the next director of the Institute, the general of the Minutemen. But to look more positively on that, maybe I can bring peace between these 2 factions, and together we might work for the betterment of the Commonwealth.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
What the hell is this operation about?
Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
No way. You're not going. You'd be a liability.
Well, that's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while. Okay, you're on your own then. Good luck. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and they'll get you over to mass fusion in a flash. Pun sort of intended.
I'm not going to take Allie with me to a fight. I know the Brotherhood of Steel is going to be there, and it's not going to be pretty. She will be a liability, and I cannot afford to lose my focus. The Brotherhood of Steel are much better equipped and trained than almost all other enemies I had to face in the Commonwealth. Oh yes, I'm now talking like a true politician. Those who I fought with yesterday and considered as allies are my enemies today. But we need this part, not to build a nuclear weapon, but a reactor we all need to ensure the future of humanity. Here I am, a true politician indeed.
Contact lost.
Oh, I wish I brought Allie with me. She was not kidding, and I was almost fried inside that reactor. The levels of radiation in there were much stronger than even the glowing sea. And this time, I didn't use my power armor. How stupid of me. Luckily, I had a lot of Rad-X and Rad-Away on me, and I used them all, which barely helped me survive the insanely high levels of radiation inside that reactor. But the most important thing is that I got the part we need to complete Phase 3.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Dr. Fillmore.
Well, I see you managed on your own. I won't lie. I was a little nervous you wouldn't pull it off. Seems I needn't have worried. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
You wanted to see me?
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
The job is done. That's what matters.
For the moment, yes. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of you. Regardless, the Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
Do you need more parts for the reactor? I could have gotten them while I was out.
No, this is a different matter. Hopefully one that does not put anyone at risk. This situation, I'm afraid, is something of your creation, however unintentional.
What do you mean by that? What's happened?
Well, while you were assisting Dr. Fillmore, a second team was sent out to invite someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute. Apparently, there was some miscommunication, and this individual called for help, which arrived in the form of your Minutemen. My understanding is that no shots have been fired. I would like it to stay that way. I need you to go there and speak to your Minutemen gathered outside. Insist that they stand down at once. Dr. Thompson is on site, and he will be your primary contact. I know you can resolve this situation, but it is of paramount importance that this special individual be brought to the Institute immediately.
I'm not going to betray the Minutemen.
I'm not asking you to. I expect that since these people have listened to you so far, they will continue to listen. Make them see reason, but please hurry. If fighting breaks out, it will be difficult to stop.
So now that I have reclaimed that part, I am faced with something more serious. I already made the Railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel my enemies, and there's no turning back on that front, but maybe I can diffuse the tension between the Minutemen and the Institute right now. We have a situation here. There is the scientist that we need at the Institute to complete Phase 3, but the Minutemen are protecting him, and some of the Minutemen are already besieging the house with the scientist and Institute members inside. I should head there fast and try to find a peaceful solution to that problem before it all gets out of hand. I don't want to have to decide to be with or against either of the Institute or the Minutemen.
Huh?
What's going on here?
You're an unexpected surprise. We could use the backup. These Institute bastards aren't getting away. They'll have to go through us to get out of there. We don't know quite what we're up against, but it's good you're here to help. How did you hear about this?
Can you bring me up to speed on the situation?
Commonwealth citizen lives in that there observatory. Institute thugs showed up to haul him off, only he spotted them coming. He managed to fire off a flare gun, got our attention, and we got up here as quick as we could. Now they're trapped inside. So, how do you want to play this? We thought about trying to lure him out here, since it'd be easier to kill him. But then we realized we probably ought to storm the place, to make sure they can't disappear on us. That makes sense, right? So, you want to lead the charge?
No one is going to do anything. Tell your men to stand down.
Are you kidding me? If we don't do something now, they're going to take that poor guy wherever it is they go. And we'll have failed. Again. Are you going to order the attack or not?
This whole thing is just a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? Can't wait to hear this. Explain to me how this is a misunderstanding.
The Institute wants the same things you do. We can find a way to work together.
I don't know about that, but... Look, if nothing else, you'd best get in there and make sure that man's okay. I'll make sure no one makes a move on him in the meantime. But, well, you'd better be right about this.
Oh, thank God you're here. I was starting to worry we might not make it out of this mess.
How exactly did this happen?
I'm not suited for field work. I've said that over and over, and they sent me anyway. There was no indication that Wallace had been in contact with anyone or was aware that we might be watching him. If I'd known, I don't know. Maybe I'd have tried to handle things differently. I know he's potentially important to Phase 3 and all, but I'm not sure it's worth putting ourselves in harm's way.
Why did the Institute send you specifically?
They thought I'd be able to relate to him with my scientific background. I know they've been keeping an eye on him for years. Not sure how they originally found him, but probably don't want to know. But once they realized how smart he was and what an asset he could be for Phase 3, they watched pretty closely. I think they even fed him scientific material from time to time to see how good he was, testing him, to see if he was Institute material. Let's just get Wallace and get out of here.
What does this Wallace guy have to do with Phase 3?
Wallace is, well, brilliant by all accounts. Like nothing we'd seen in the Commonwealth prior. He truly has a gift when it comes to theoretical physics. He'd be an asset to the Institute, specifically in getting the reactor running. With his help, we could accelerate the timetable immensely. There's a slight problem with that. He doesn't want to go with us. I was thinking, maybe you could try and talk to him.
Any advice on how to talk to him?
Don't make him angry. Let him know we're not going to hurt him. In fact, his life would improve considerably.
Mr. Wallace, I'm here to talk to you.
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
Please, try and relax. I know this is an unusual situation.
No! You're here to kidnap me! That's what you people do, isn't it? If you even are people. I've heard all the stories. I know exactly what happens to people when the Institute shows up. Well, it's not happening to me.
What can I say to convince you that we're not going to hurt you?
That you're leaving and never coming back.
Hey, just calm down, okay? I just want to talk to you.
Fine. What do you want from me?
The Institute needs your help, Mr. Wallace. It's as simple as that.
My help? With what?
The Institute has an engineering problem that your scientific expertise could help solve. In exchange for helping us out, you'd be granted access to the most advanced research facility imaginable. Whatever research you wanted to perform, anything, it's possible there. I promise. You'd be safe and secure in a way that's completely impossible anywhere else.
Think about your future, Wallace. This is a way to secure it.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. Okay, fine. I'll go.
You must be pretty excited being named the next director. Okay. I think we've got this under control now. Thanks. Thanks for the assist.
Hey, I'm here to help. You're welcome.
I really mean it. I owe you one. I'll see you back in the Institute.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looking to enhance your English skills while exploring a world of knowledge? Then English Plus Podcast website is just for you. Dive into diverse topics ranging from science to literature, history to business, and myths to modern insights. Each episode from our podcast or article from our magazine is a journey of learning and discovery, designed to not only improve your language skills, but also broaden your understanding of the world. Join us at English Plus Podcast, where language meets limitless learning. Tune in today and take your English to the next level. Visit EnglishPlusPodcast.com to start your journey. English Plus Podcast, language, learning, enlightenment. Never stop learning with English Plus. I was happy to be able to resolve this situation without shedding any blood. Those Minutemen are my brothers and sisters. I can never do anything to harm them, not even with the excuses like the big picture and that bull. I am heading back to the Institute now, and I wish I could say the same or do the same for the Railroad or the Brotherhood of Steel, but things have already gone too complicated between us, and I don't think there will be room for a peaceful solution there.
There you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out several inefficiencies in our methods. With his help, Phase 3 will be ready in no time. And it's all thanks to you.
A lot of work went into this before I even arrived. Just how close are we?
It shouldn't take long at all. The Facilities Division has it well in hand. There is one more part for you to play, and I think you might enjoy it. It is time to announce our presence to the Commonwealth. to request that they do not interfere with our plans. You should be the one to do it.
What kind of announcement are we talking about?
A broadcast. An announcement to the Commonwealth that the Institute is not to be trifled with. As the incoming director, that responsibility naturally falls to you. We've prepared some remarks for you to record. Once you're finished, we'll broadcast them to the entire Commonwealth. Use the microphone here and follow the script. It's quite simple. I'm sure you'll do fine, Father.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists. That we are among you. It is true. But it is not the whole truth. We're here. And we are here to help. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist. Ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your personal freedoms. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in unnecessary difficulties for all parties. Rest easy. Know that the future is in safe hands, and that mankind will thrive under our guidance.
Well, that was interesting. Perhaps not what we originally intended, but it will certainly get your point across. Now it's time to make sure that everyone hears it. How would you feel about making a little trip to Diamond City?
What do you want with Diamond City?
Nothing with the city itself. This is a bit of a shortcut, actually. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we preempt their broadcast, we need to ensure it reaches the maximum range possible. I've been assured that the necessary parts are on site. You'll just need to install them to boost the broadcasting power. Report back when you're done. We should be ready by then.
I tried to tell the people of the Commonwealth that we are not the enemy, but at the same time that we are not to be trifled with. I hope that brings a little more stability and order to the Commonwealth. And I am counting on my influence as the Minutemen General to liaise our efforts both from down here in the Institute and up there in the Commonwealth.
I want to be left alone.
I fix one relay and 2 more start to fail. At least I'm not bored.
Enjoy your trip to the big city. It's done then? The transmitter has been modified.
Everything is in place. It's ready to go when we are.
Good. Once the reactor is online, we'll cut into their broadcast. I'll let you do the honors. This, my friends, is the moment we've all worked towards. After all your effort, the time has finally come to start our reactor. No longer will we be forced to compromise to survive. No more will we need worry about outpacing our resources. My father and I couldn't be more proud of what you have helped us accomplish. And we look forward to achieving even greater things in the future. The Institute is now truly mankind's best hope. Thank you. All of you.
This is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved.
Sean.
Let your surroundings be a reminder of what science and willpower can accomplish.
Son.
It's almost hard to believe. After all those years of hard work, here we are. We've arrived. Look what you've made possible.
The job's done. That's what matters.
Don't lose sight of the fact that you're to be thanked for this. There's more work to be done before the Institute's future is guaranteed. The Directorate has convened a meeting about how to proceed. I'm not going to attend. You should be there as Director.
So I am indeed the director of the Institute. I guess I have tough decisions to make to try and keep as much peace as I can in what's left of our world.
X688
May I be the
sounded
first
very
to welcome
impressed
you,
with
sir.
your work
We're
at
looking forward to
Libertalia.
working with you.
He doesn't give praise lightly. Well done.
I'm happy to be here, Dr. Fillmore. I hope I do the position justice.
I'm sure you will.
Right now, we're all here because it's finally time to stand up for ourselves.
Let's not be dramatic, Justin.
There's nothing dramatic about it. We're in a position to push back, to assert ourselves here. That's what we've talked about all along.
To bring you up to speed, obviously there are groups in the Commonwealth that stand in opposition to the Institute's goals. With the reactor now online, we have the ability to not only expand synth production, but to project power to a much greater degree.
I'm sure the reactor will improve everyone's life. It's a great accomplishment.
Yes, but it's not just that. The Directorate has agreed that steps must be taken to ensure our safety in the long run.
Let's not beat around the bush. The Directorate has agreed that the Brotherhood of Steel needs to be eliminated.
As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. So, where do you stand?
If this has to happen, we keep the violence to a minimum. We're not out to destroy the Commonwealth.
Of course. It was never the intention to cause more harm than is necessary. As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development?
What would the results of this choice be? I'd like to make a well-informed decision.
Well, if we increase synth production, we'd be able to deploy more of them to the Commonwealth to aid in our operations. Weapon development would improve the weapons we have available to us now, making our synths more effective in the field. Which would you prefer we focus on?
I've seen enough to know the weapons are the key to winning wars. Let's focus on weapons development.
As you wish. The Advanced Systems folks will get to work immediately. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded.
To be frank, I don't agree with Father's decision, but I'll accept it.
Ah, there you are. You've met with the Directorate. I assume they made their intentions known? It was difficult for them to reach the decision to engage in open hostility. What about you? You agree with their decision?
It's the only way we can ensure the Institute's safety. That makes it the right thing to do.
I'm glad you agree. None what comes next will be easy. That conviction may help keep us all going. You know, Father, it's no secret that you worked with the Railroad in order to first reach the Institute. The depth of your involvement with them has been called into question repeatedly. I'm sure you can guess by whom. The question is, where do you stand with them now? Do you count them amongst your allies?
Does it matter? What are you getting at?
I think it's obvious. For the Institute's position in the Commonwealth to be secure, the Railroad must be eliminated. Completely. As our primary above-ground operative and someone who has had previous contact with the Railroad, you are in the best position to carry this out. So what I'm getting at, simply, is this. Are you willing to destroy them?
Is this really necessary?
I'm afraid it is. I take no pleasure in it, but it must be done, for the sake of everyone in the Institute. And it must be done now. Are you willing?
There has to be another solution here. Something less violent.
I'm afraid the time for hesitation has passed. We must act decisively, and we must act now. Will you do it?
I can take care of them.
Good. Good. I don't enjoy asking you to put yourself in harm's way, but this is so important.
That's what I have been trying to avoid for quite some time. But there's no other way but to eliminate the Railroad. There is no way to show her the errors of her ways without getting myself killed in the process. And I cannot afford to let Desdemona free any more synths and turn them against us. Well, as I saw from Gabriel's case, against everyone in the Commonwealth. I am heading to the Railroad's headquarters, and I know there won't be much to talk about there. With a heavy heart, I'm going to kill Desdemona and everyone in the Railroad.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Unlock the marvels of mycology and take a journey of deep discovery into the divine. LordofSpore.com has 21 unique varieties of magic mushroom spores that will open doors you never knew existed. From the shamanic rituals of 10,000-year-old tribes, to Plato, Socrates, the Dionysian mysteries, and even early Christianity, entheogens have been the key to unlocking the secrets of the infinite realm that we are all part of, offering us mere mortals a glimpse into the sacred meaning of everything we see, and everything we don't. Join us on our journey. It starts with a few microscopic mushroom spores, and it grows into a network across time and space, connecting us all to infinity and beyond.
We've heard some very disturbing things about you. That you've been to the Institute, that you're actually working with those monsters. You're lucky we don't shoot you on sight.
Who told you that?
I'm not about to divulge anything sensitive to you. Get the hell out of here, and don't come back.
Excuse me.
Just leave.
We got company!
Been hit.
I wish I could have saved some of those fools. They were convinced they were freeing slaves, but these are robots, not humans. The one thing they should never get is their freedom. I am sorry to have killed those people, but this is war, and war never changes.
And so, the work is done. I am sorry. I know it was likely difficult for you.
It was tough, yeah.
I assure you that there was no other way. Their fanaticism wouldn't have allowed it. There is obviously one final threat the Institute faces.
What is it? What's this last threat?
Well, perhaps it's not that obvious after all. The Brotherhood of Steel covets technology, and has made it clear that we cannot peacefully coexist. They will eventually come for us, and attempt to take what we've spent so long creating. We need to destroy them, before they can destroy us.
Destroy them? What exactly do you mean?
I mean we eliminate all Brotherhood forces in the Commonwealth. But the problem with the Brotherhood of Steel goes beyond the edges of the Commonwealth. It's not enough to destroy them here. There are more of them out there in the world, Father. And they too will come for us.
You have something in mind if that happens.
I'd like to prevent it from happening in the first place. We will show them that if they interfere with us, the very technology they value so highly will be turned against them. We will teach them that we can appear at a moment's notice, wherever we please, and they cannot ever stop us. They will know better than to ever interfere with us again.
So we're just going to attack them?
There's a plan that's a little more involved than that. Dr. Lee should be expecting you in her lab. She can fill you in on the details. Time is of the essence.
At last, we have power adequate to our needs.
Dr. Lee.
What can I do for you?
Sean says it's time.
Ah, that. Well, let's get to it. Dr. Orman, over here, please. It's time.
What now? I'm still working over the code that the robotics sent over. The algorithm is a mess. It's not even close to peak efficiency.
It would seem we've run out of time. Let's go. We're going to cover the basics of the operation as it stands now. Dr. Orman has done most of the prep work, so I'll let her explain.
Okay, thanks. Is this really exciting, or is it just me? So, you know that the Brotherhood's main operation is at the airport, right?
What can you tell me about the airport?
Well, there are a few key buildings that are still structurally sound, but no pre-war aircraft are still in service. If they were a little less intelligent, we wouldn't even be talking about this. We'd have just swarmed them with synths. But they're not idiots. They've managed to generate an EM field that's messing with our ability to relay in.
What sort of EM field? What's it doing?
Basically, just scattering any suitable complex signals, like the ones from our relay, preventing us from getting close. So the immediate area around their encampment is a no-go. They don't, however, have the entire airport covered. We can relay you in to a point at the edge of the airport, and then you can get in and take down the generators.
That can't be the whole plan.
No, it's just the first part. Your job then is to get closer to the main camp. You'll have Surprise on your side. Should give you some time before they can organize a real defense. For every generator you take down, it means we can start relaying in synths, giving you even more of an advantage. And, oh, I almost forgot. Take these.
And these would be...
Oh, you'll like this. This thing, and I haven't come up with a good name for it yet, it basically deploys a beacon marker. Wherever they land, we can lock onto them and relay synths directly to that position. If there's a hotspot, you can drop synths right on it. We've only got a few of these, so put them to good use. Don't go tossing them into the bay.
What are these reinforcements supposed to do?
They're going to help you buy some time, while you're completing the real objective. If nothing else, they'll take a few bullets meant for you. Your real job will be to reach Liberty Prime. You know the deal with that, right?
What's Liberty Prime?
Dr. Lee can give you the rundown.
Yes, well, the Brotherhood discovered him. An old pre-war military project that never saw the light of day due to power problems that couldn't be solved. With my assistance, they were able to get his reactor running and use him against their enemies.
What did you do?
I designed and oversaw the building of the reactor that ultimately solved the power problems. The point here is that in designing the power system for the robot, I had full knowledge of every onboard system. I know exactly what it is capable of and precisely how to exploit those capabilities.
We've taken everything we know, made a few modifications based on what we think they've done with it in the past 10 years. And, this part was my idea, uploaded the whole thing into a modified synth, capable of delivering the virus directly into Liberty Prime. The little guy is going to be exposed and vulnerable, so you'll have to keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't get shot, you know?
With Liberty Prime on our side, that'll give us a hell of an advantage.
He's not going to go stomping around, and he won't be taking orders. But he will have his weapons and targeting systems overridden. And he'll absolutely recognize their airship as the primary communist target in the Commonwealth. So your end goal is ultimately pretty simple. Get to the robot, then hold the position while the synth does his thing. Oh, and don't worry, we'll pull you out of there before everything explodes.
If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, they'll be waiting for you in the relay room.
Have we got a plan B?
We don't need a plan B. This will work. Anything else?
What happens to Liberty Prime after this?
They'll be destroyed along with the rest of the Brotherhood.
What have I got for backup?
Once the generators are down, we'll be able to throw everything we've got at them. And I do mean everything.
No questions. Let's do this.
Very well. Good luck to you.
Dr. Lee might not show it, but I can tell she's excited about having the reactor online.
So the final battle is here. Or is it going to be the final battle? Aren't we going to find more enemies tomorrow and decide to kill them, whoever they are? War never changes, and we are all but little cogs in a machine that has been going on and on for eternity. I have to be well prepared for this battle. I am not going to forget about my power armor this time. I will definitely need it. This is their last stand, and they are just like us, fighting for their survival, so I cannot expect the battle to be easy. I am heading to Sanctuary Hills to get my power armor, and then to the airport and war.
Operation on. Excellent. Shutting down.
Updated tactical assessment. Red Chinese presence detected. Aerial incursion by communist forces cannot succeed. Initiating directive 7395. Destroy all communists.
Time to go, sir. We're relaying to a safe location.
Hello, Sean.
Ah. There you are. I've already heard the news. But of course you wouldn't be here if it weren't a success. I'm glad it worked, but I'm glad you're safe.
At one hell of a cost.
They left us no choice. Remember that. There will always be difficult decisions to make. Allie has always been loyal to the Institute, and to me. You can rely on her for help. Once I'm gone, it's all up to you.
Isn't there some other way? Another treatment that can help you?
Nothing permanent, no. The inevitable could be delayed, but at increasingly terrible cost, I simply decided it wasn't worth it. Don't worry about me. You need to look ahead. Focus on the future. Our time together has been strange, hasn't it? I spent years wondering what you were like. Thinking about all we missed out on. I want you to know that I'm grateful for the time we've had.
I wish we had more time.
The time has been short, yes. But it's better than no time at all. Thank you, Father. You've helped a boy achieve his dreams. I think I'd like to sleep now.
I've lost Sean. All over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this. Before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant, and the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point, it happens to all of us. This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth. My home. Ripped apart and put back together. I hoped I could find my family, cheat time, make us whole again. The way we were. But now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed. That the road ahead will be hard. This time, I'm ready. Because I know war. War never changes.
So that was the series of Fallout 4. That was the end of it. I hope you liked the series. That was the first series I created, and I'm learning to create the series in a better way, and I'm using some of the things I learned in the other series I'm creating now, and that's about the Odyssey. So I hope you like these kinds of series. Those are the places where we can learn from everything, even from games. And games give us an opportunity not only to listen, but even to watch. It's possible to make those videos with games so that we can watch the story, not only listen to it. And that's what I found interesting about creating those kind of series. I hope you like them. Don't forget the 2 links in the description of the episode. One will take you to my website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, where you will find the video for this episode. You can watch the video and understand what happened even better. And there is, of course, the comprehension check, where you can check your understanding of what happened in this series. And for this comprehension check, it's going to be a little bit more than that. It's going to be a comprehension check of the whole series. So I may include a couple of questions on the whole series. So be prepared. If you haven't watched the whole series, maybe you're not going to be able to answer some of the questions, but that's not a problem. Try it anyway. And of course, there's the second link that will take you to my Patreon page, where you can support me, support this learning community, help us survive, grow, and thrive. With that being said, this is your host, Danny. Thank you very much for listening to another episode from English Plus Podcast. I will see you next time.